You keep telling yourself you need more motivation, more discipline, more energy, a better morning, a cleaner plan, a stronger mindset. But deep down, that's not really the problem. The real problem is this. You're trying to run on a system that's already drained. And when your mind is cluttered, your routine is messy, your sleep is off, your attention is scattered, and you've been disappointing yourself for weeks, motivation won't save you. You don't need more motivation. You need a reset. Because a lot of people are not lazy. They're overloaded. They're mentally noisy. They're carrying too many unfinished thoughts, too much guilt, too much pressure, and too many "I'll start tomorrow" moments. And after a while, even small tasks start to feel heavy. You open your laptop, and suddenly you want to do everything except work. You wake up with plans, but somehow the day slips away. You tell yourself this is the night you'll fix your life, then end up scrolling until 1 a.m. and feeling even worse. That cycle is exhausting. And the worst part? It makes you start doubting yourself. You begin to think, maybe I'm just not disciplined. Maybe other people are built for this, and I'm not. Maybe I've wasted too much time already. But that's not the truth. The truth is, when your internal system is overloaded, even simple progress feels impossible. So this video is not about pushing harder. It's about resetting your mind, your environment, and your momentum, so discipline starts to feel possible again. Let's start with the first thing you need to understand. A reset is not a dramatic life overhaul. It's not deleting every app, waking up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, buying a new planner, and suddenly becoming a different person overnight. That sounds exciting, but most of the time it fails. Why? Because when you're already mentally tired, extreme plans become another form of self-sabotage. You create a perfect routine in your head. Then you fail to follow it for 2 days. Then you feel guilty. Then you quit. That's not a motivation problem. That's a reset problem. A real reset is smaller, cleaner, more honest. It begins with stopping the chaos. Step 1. Clear the mental noise. Most people don't realize how much energy they lose from carrying mental clutter. Things like unfinished tasks, messages you haven't replied to, goals you keep thinking about but never schedule, promises you made to yourself and ignored, constant comparison, constant pressure, constant background guilt. That stuff builds up. And even if you're doing nothing, your brain still feels tired. So the first reset is simple. Get everything out of your head. Take a notebook, open your notes app, and do a brain dump. Write down everything. What's stressing you out? What you've been avoiding? What feels unfinished? What you need to do this week? What's been bothering you lately? Don't organize it yet. Just empty it. Because clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from seeing things clearly. A lot of the time, what feels like my life is a mess is actually just 5 unresolved things circling in your mind all day. Once they're visible, they become manageable. That alone can lower your stress fast. Step 2. Stop trying to fix everything at once. This is where most people destroy their own momentum. They reach a breaking point and say, "That's it. New life. New me." Now suddenly they want to wake up at 5, work out every day, eat clean, read 20 pages, journal, meditate, study for 4 hours, quit social media, fix their sleep, drink 3 liters of water, and become mentally strong by Friday. It sounds productive, but it's actually panic. And panic creates unsustainable plans. A reset works when it reduces friction, not when it creates pressure. So instead of asking, "How do I fix my entire life this week?" ask this: what are the 3 things that would make my life feel more under control right now? Maybe it's sleeping before midnight, cleaning your room, and doing 1 focused hour of work each day. That's enough. Seriously. Because once life starts feeling a little more stable, your mind stops resisting everything. You don't need a perfect system. You need a system you can actually return to. Step 3. Rebuild trust with yourself. This one matters more than people think. A lot of the lack of motivation you feel is actually broken self-trust. You've told yourself too many things that never happened. "I'll start on Monday. I'll wake up early tomorrow. I'll stop wasting time. I'll be consistent now." And when you keep hearing your own promises but never seeing action, your brain stops taking you seriously. That's why even when you make a good plan, part of you doesn't believe it. Not because you're weak, because you've trained yourself not to trust your own words. So the reset here is to make smaller promises. Not fake promises. Not motivational promises. Real ones. Promises so small you can actually keep them. Like, "I'll spend 10 minutes cleaning tonight. I'll put my phone away for 30 minutes. I'll walk outside tomorrow morning. I'll write 1 page. I'll study for 20 minutes." It sounds basic, but every time you follow through, you send yourself a new message. I do what I say. That message changes everything. Because confidence is not built by thinking highly of yourself. It's built by evidence. Step 4. Reset your environment, not just your mindset. People love talking about mindset, but sometimes your problem is not deep. Sometimes your room is just chaotic. Your phone is always next to you. Your desk makes you feel sleepy. Your tabs are a mess. Your notifications are controlling your attention. And then you wonder why you can't focus. Environment shapes behavior more than people want to admit. If distraction is one step away, discipline has to work twice as hard. So make your environment support the version of you you're trying to become. Put your phone across the room. Delete the apps you keep opening automatically. Clean the part of your space you use the most. Set out your notebook before bed. Make your workspace easier to enter than your distractions. This is not about becoming extreme. It's about making the right action feel more natural. You're not a machine. You respond to cues. Build better cues. Step 5. Give yourself one win early in the day. If your mornings feel rushed, messy, and reactive, the rest of the day usually follows. And no, this doesn't mean you need some perfect 5 a.m. routine with cold showers, supplements, and sunrise journaling. It just means your day needs an anchor. One simple action that tells your brain, we're awake, we're moving, we're not drifting today. That could be making your bed, drinking water, going outside for 5 minutes, stretching, writing your top task for the day, doing 10 push-ups, praying, sitting in silence for a minute. Small win, early signal. Why does this matter? Because when the first hour of your day is unconscious, the rest of the day often becomes reactive. But one intentional action can shift your state fast. And once you feel like the day has started with you, instead of happening to you, it becomes easier to stay in control. Step 6. Stop consuming motivation and start reducing resistance. This one is important. A lot of people are constantly watching videos, saving quotes, listening to podcasts, planning new routines, but they're still not moving. Why? Because inspiration feels like progress, but it's not the same thing. Sometimes watching another motivational video is just a more productive-looking form of avoidance. And I say that with respect, because we've all done it. We tell ourselves, I'm preparing, but really, we're postponing the uncomfortable part, action. So instead of asking, how do I get more motivated? Ask, what is making this task hard to start? That question changes everything. Maybe the task feels too big, so shrink it. Maybe your phone keeps distracting you, so remove it. Maybe you don't know where to begin, so define the first step. Maybe you're tired, so rest first, then restart. The goal is not to force yourself into action through emotion. The goal is to make action easier to begin. Because once you begin, motivation often follows. Not before, after. That's the part people forget. Step 7. Reset your identity gently. A lot of self-improvement advice pushes this intense idea that you need to become a whole new person. But for most people, that creates pressure, not progress. You don't need to wake up tomorrow as a completely transformed version of yourself. You just need to stop reinforcing the old story. The story that says, I always mess things up. I'm too behind. I'm lazy. I have no discipline. I never finish what I start. Be careful with those labels, because repeated thoughts become identity, and identity shapes behavior. If you keep saying, I'm bad at consistency, your brain will keep looking for proof. Try replacing that story with something more honest and useful. Not fake positivity, just a better direction. Like, I'm learning how to become consistent. I'm rebuilding. I'm not behind. I'm resetting. I can start small and still change. I'm becoming someone I can rely on. That kind of identity creates room to grow. And that matters, because people change faster when they stop attacking themselves for being human. So if you've been feeling off lately, if you've been procrastinating, doubting yourself, watching the days blur together, and wondering where your drive went, take a breath. You are not broken. You are probably just overdue for a reset. Not a dramatic one, not a fake one, a real one. Clear the mental clutter. Pick 3 stabilizing actions. Keep smaller promises. Fix your environment. Create one early win. Reduce resistance. And speak to yourself like someone worth rebuilding. That's how momentum comes back. Not all at once, but steadily. And honestly, that's better, because fast motivation fades. But a real reset can give you something stronger. Clarity, self-trust, and the ability to move again. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Not tomorrow. Tonight. Take 10 minutes. Write down everything that's been weighing on you. Then choose one thing you can reset before bed. Maybe clean your desk. Maybe set your phone away. Maybe plan your first task for tomorrow. Maybe just sleep earlier. One small reset. That's enough to begin. If this spoke to where you are right now, hold on to it. You do not need to become a new person overnight. You just need to create enough space to become yourself again. Start with one small step, and let's improve together.